Hello there, everyone. Welcome to my Facebook Live. My name is Dara Walter of Pickled Peppers Creative Cafe at pickledpepperscreative.com. Welcome. Welcome to my Facebook Live takeover. And what that is for 4 weeks in a row, this is the second week, I am taking over my regular Facebook Live class. Or my Facebook Live event, and we're actually doing a Christmas card class. So welcome, come on in. We'll chat just a little bit for a few minutes to make sure that people have time to find me in their news feed if they'd like to share in with us. So we'll just chat for a little bit. Hi Anna, how are you? Happy Facebook Live takeover Christmas card Thursday. That's a mouthful, huh? Hey Beth, hello. How are you? Welcome. Come on in. How are you guys? I'm so excited that you're here tonight. I have some super cute cards to share with you. In fact, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time chatting tonight. We'll spend a little bit of time and I'll show you what we're going to be using, the products that we're going to be using, and then we'll get started. Beth says super good. Super good is fantastic. There is nothing, ain't nothing better than super good. So happy that you're super good. You know what? I'm super good too. And super excited. So tonight, I think I told you, we are going to be using the trees for sale. You remember the stamp set that had the coordinating dies in celebration, that the tree lot dies, which are no longer available. However, this stamp set is so gorgeous by itself. And when you pair it together with some of our very nice and coordinating products, you're going to see how fabulous it is. So let's go ahead and get turned down. We have 3 cards to make tonight. So this is going to be a regular card class, just like we would do in person if we were meeting up for a regular card class, and just like we do monthly on the third Saturday of the month when we have our virtual card classes on Zoom. So this one, however, is free. We are here. It is free, just like my monthly card class on the third Saturday. It's free with a minimum purchase. So tonight is the same, but it's Christmas cards, shall we? Let's take a moment and turn down. Thank you guys so much for being here, by the way. I really appreciate that you're here and creating with me. Guess what we found? Desktop. Okay, so like I said, this is my Facebook Live takeover. So we are doing Christmas card classes, and we will be doing them for the next 3 weeks. So tonight, and then we have 2 more free classes of focusing on Christmas cards. So as you're coming in, don't forget to say hello in the comments. If you have questions anytime during the event, don't forget to, or feel free to ask your questions in the comments. I'm going to do my very best to try and catch all of your comments. Hi, Amy. I see Amy is watching. Welcome. So excited that you could come and join us for a Christmas card class, a free Christmas card class. So this is week 2. Last week was the first week. So we are going to be making, like I said, 3 different cards, 3 different designs. This class is free. If you would like to get a class kit in the mail with the projects that we're going to be doing tonight, then you can get that for free by placing a minimum $35 order in my online store. There will be a link in the description above for my store if you would like to do that. And if your order is $50 or more, I am actually also going to include tonight's embellishment in your class kit, absolutely free, just as a my way of saying thank you. You must use a host code in order to get that class for free. That will also be in the description above tonight. And the free class deal will be available through Sunday night at midnight. So any time between now and then, if you decide that you want tonight's class, I will send it to you in the mail with an order. And by the way, in this class, you get to make 6 cards. So you'll be making two each of the 3 designs. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Also, feel free to chat with me as we go along. I like to chat, and like I said, I'm gonna do really, I'm gonna put a lot of effort into keeping up with your questions and comments tonight, but rest assured, if I miss any, I do go after the live. So, and answer and respond. All right, so here is the stamp set we're using. You know, one thing I didn't get to do is use that little dog. Isn't that little dog the absolute cutest? I love that little dog. And then there's, oh, right here, the little dog paws. You see the little paws in the snow? So cute. We didn't use it. However, after tonight's class, be sure to check back for the next couple of days because I'm going to post cards that we did not make in tonight's class. All right, so let's do it because we have the 3 cards to make and I want to make sure that we have the time to get them in without keeping you here all night. Once again, here it is, Trees for Sale. We're also going to be using, and I took it out because of the glare, but we're going to be using the Stampin' Cut and Emboss Whimsical Woodlands folder. It's an embossing folder. You can't see it like this, but you can see it like this. I've gone ahead and did some of the embossing off camera so that I can show you how really cute that embossing folder is. Isn't it super cute? I'd say it's whimsical. Here's what it looks like on a colorful piece of cardstock as well. Isn't it the cutest? All right, so we can go ahead and set these aside. The stamp set we'll need. All right, so we're using that tonight. Also, here are the embellishments that we're using tonight. I am positive that you are not seeing them on camera the way that I'm seeing them. They are full of bling and shimmer. You guys know this is something that, for those of you who know, I should say, this is something that really gets my heart. Super cute. These are the Fresh Freesia. The ones in the middle can go with mint macaron. They can go with pool party. They're kind of versatile. One of the things that I love about our products is the color coordination, and I like when they are ambiguous enough to be able to use on a couple of different colors. This is one of them, and I almost dare to say that this might go on the Highland Heather. Don't quote me on that. And then we have the silver sequins at the top. So this is actually called Adhesive Back Sequin Gems. And if you place an order for the free card class in your order, or an order period, if your order is $50 or more, I'm gonna give you these for free, the whole pack. So there's that. And then let's just go ahead and get started. So card number 1, we're also going to be using ribbon. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the thumbs up and the hearts. And if you share tonight's video, that would be fantastic as well. If you know someone who wants a free card class and they're crafty, that would be awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so here we go. let's get started on tonight's first card. Super cute. I think you guys are going to love it. You notice that we are using, I'm not sure if anyone knows about this, but this is vellum. It's snowflake vellum, and let me tell you exactly what it's called. Let's give you the official name. It's really beautiful and it packs a punch. So the reason I chose it is because you can make super cute, super quick cards. And that vellum packs a pretty good punch. It's called the Snowflake 12 by 12 Specialty Vellum. The thing that I like about it is it's pretty thick. You see that? And it's so thick that you can use your regular adhesive, your regular double-sided adhesive with your vellum, and you can use your regular double-sided adhesive with your vellum, and it doesn't show through. So fantastic for this. Oh, you have this. Marie says she has this. It is so beautiful. So we're using that. We also have an embossed piece of the fresh freesia. So let's see. I was going to give you some dimensions here, but you'll definitely get them afterwards. So I'm pretty sure this is 3 by 4.5, and so is the vellum. And then I have an embossed mat that is 5 1/4 by 4. And then we have our card base, and I have a couple of extra mats here in case we need them. But we have our fresh freesia card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5. It is scored at 4 1/4 to make our card base. Let's get started. We're going to be using ribbon too. I'm going to be using the open weave ribbon in fresh freesia as well. All right, so we'll take our bone folder and burnish the score line here so that we have a card that is nice and flat. The next thing we're going to do is grab our double-sided adhesive and the embossed mat. So I'll bring it up again so you can see. I love that embossing folder. I like embossing folders in general because all you need for them is cardstock, right? You can do some really cool things with embossing folders. However, they stand alone on their own. Perfect, and it adds dimension to the background so that you don't have to stamp on it if you don't want to, but it makes it so that it's not plain. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Actually, we didn't need to do that. I wanted to do something else. We have to add ribbon, so let's pull that back up. Okay, we have our vellum mat and our fresh freesia mat, which has been embossed as well. Let's go ahead and add them to the 5 1/4 by 4 mat so that we can add the ribbon. So I want to add the ribbon between this layer and that layer. So that's why you saw me pull that up. I jumped the gun a little bit. So we'll move this aside. We'll put some adhesive on the back of our vellum. Even though you can't really see through the vellum, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, I'm still going to stick with adding adhesive just to the center. I'm going to bring this really close for those of you that have worked with vellum before, just to show, you see the quality of that? And of course it's beautiful, but you can't see the adhesive. So that is a fantastic, that's a fantastic quality of this. All right, so let's go ahead and put both layers right on that large mat. We're going to turn this one to the side. So the top of the mat is tipping towards the right, as your card is facing you, if that makes any sense. And the thing that you want to be careful about is you don't want it to go too far over the mat. If it does go over the mat, you don't want it to go too far over the mat. And I actually don't want it to go over the mat at all. So it's tipped to the right as it's facing me. And I'm just going to play with it a little bit before I stick it down. There we go. And then we'll adhere it right down. And then we'll take our vellum and we're going to tip our vellum in the opposite direction. So we kind of have like, oh, I don't know, a crisscross kind of a situation going on. And we'll do the same thing with our vellum. We want the corners close to the edge of the mat, but we don't want them to fall off of the mat. Okay, there we go. All right, the next thing we're going to do is tie our ribbon. So remember, we wanted to tie the ribbon before we adhered our mat to the card front. So let's grab a length of ribbon. Let's see. And we are going to tie it into a bow on the left. I think I'm going to cut it before we actually tie. If I'm fumble fingers with this, you guys forgive me. I don't know. I feel like I tie pretty good bows. And I feel like for some reason when I need to be impressive with the tying bows, I say this all the time, sometimes they don't look as great as they do when I'm by myself. Every now and again. Do you guys have tricks when it comes to tying your bows? Does anyone have bow tying tricks? I don't think I have any. I just tie them and hope for the best. And when I'm not trying to impress, it goes pretty good. All right, so we're tying the bow to the left of the mat. And then we'll just kind of shape it. I'll grab some scissors here in a minute and cut the edges. Oh, thank you, Marie. Marie says I tie good bows. I think I tie good bows when no one's watching. Thank you for that, Marie. This one's not too bad, though. This one's not too shabby. And you know, coming into Christmas season, I don't know about you guys. I don't do it so much anymore, but when my kids were little, and actually when I was younger, I really had, I don't know, I really liked tying bows. And so I would ask any and everybody that was gifting Christmas gifts if they would allow me to wrap their packages. So I liked wrapping the packages and tying the bows. Oh, Beth says that's for all of us. Thank you, Beth. I do, you're right. I tie the bows because I know people are intimidated with tying bows. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add this layer to our card front now. I've seen several of the little, I don't know what you call them, bow jigs. I would call it a jig or something. I don't know. And, oh, I went over the edge a little bit with my vellum. Let's just pull it over some. It was hanging over the edge of my card, and we don't want that to happen because we need for this card to fit in an envelope because we're going to give it to someone, right? All right, so here's what we have now. Isn't this so cute just by itself? I don't think it needs a whole lot more, but it does because it needs to have a focal point. Thank you. Thank you so much for the hearts. So I have here layering circles. I have a fresh freesia and then one that's a little smaller. And it's in basic white. We're going to do a little bit of stamping, very simple stamping. In our stamp set, we have several sizes of the trees. So again, this is called Trees for Sale. So the intention is for there to be various sizes of trees, just like you would see if you went to a Christmas tree lot, right? So we're going to be using, I think, the smallest tree. And also, if you notice, there are 2 layers to the tree. That's why you see them beside each other. So one is for detail, and then one is the background. This tree is so cute. Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you so much. Wait until you see this tree. If you don't have it, the trees alone are so worth it. Super, super, super duper cute. I promise you guys. Let's do a little bit of stamping. And the cool thing about this is now we're going to stamp. I'm using Fresh Freesia because that is the ink color that's going to go with our card. And of course, this is a non-traditional Christmas card color, but I wanted to use them to coordinate with our embellishment that we're using tonight. So I showed you the 3 colors that were in the embellishment that we're using tonight. And this matches as well. All right, let me grab, I'm gonna grab a piece of scrap paper so I protect my worktop here. So this is one that I've already stamped on quite a bit, but I don't want to make a mess on my desktop. Well, at least not a big mess. And so I have the outline of the tree, the background, and I'm going to stamp it in the Fresh Freesia. And I'm going to put 2 trees on the circle here. I'm going to make one a little higher, one a little lower. So the second tree will be off the circle a little bit. The first one I'm going to put right on the circle to the left, like this. So that's what we have. And then the second one I'm going to put very close to this one, but I'm going to put it a little bit lower. And I want it close, but not really overlapping. There we go, and we can put that aside for now. And then we're going to grab the coordinating detailed tree. It's going to be this one. By the way, do you notice how right inside of the stamp cover, there are pictures for each of the stamps, so you know where to place them when you put them away? I think that's a cool feature. I just happen to be a fan, so I thought I'd share that with you. All right, and then we're going to go again and pick up some of the Fresh Freesia, and we're going to place it right over the tree and stamp it. And we get to see a little bit of magic. Let's do it again. And we'll do the other tree. Okay. And this is what we have so far. So I'll bring it kind of close. Isn't that cool how the same color, both in full strength or full tilt, as I like to say it, we get 2 different variations. Thank you so much for the thumbs up and the love. Thank you. It looks like we have two different colors of ink, doesn't it? Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. So that means that your ink goes a long way. You get a bang for your buck, right? You get 2 different ink colors with the same ink pad. So that's cool. Those trees are super cool. I do have to tell you, the sentiment that we're going to use for this, I happened to steal it from the Christmas to Remember stamp set because there's not a lot of space there, but when I give this card, I want people to know that it's a Christmas card. So you see that tiny little Mary? Using that tiny little Mary. And what that tells you is that you can mix and match. So if you have stamp sets that you already own, you could even do the design layout. If you don't have this stamp set, you can use a stamp set that you already have. Okay, so there's the little Mary. All right, let's finish it up and we'll get started with our second card. We have to hustle a little bit. Unless you guys love staying here with me all night. I love being here, so it would be absolutely no problem for me. All right, we're going to go ahead. I just added some double-sided adhesive to the back of our basic white circle that we stamped on, and I'm going to layer it. This is a simple and cute technique for card making. So there we have it. Let's add it to the front of our card and add a little bit of embellishment, and then we're done. So next, I am going to add a little bit of dimension. Let's move this out of the way. Let's put this back for a second. I'm going to add a little bit of dimension and use what we call at Stampin' Up! Here, dimensionals. Dimensionals are double-sided adhesive. And they're little hexagons, but we call them dots. Back in the day, when I first started paper crafting, it didn't matter who made the double-sided adhesive dots, we called them pop dots. So you might have heard that terminology before, pop dots. Okay, so notice that I added the dimensional dots at the top and the bottom. Actually, I put them side to side. I should have put them at the top and the bottom because I don't want them to stick to the ribbon. So you will put yours at the top and the bottom. Me, I put mine side to side, and then I tell you to put yours at the top and the bottom. All right. Oh, the last thing that we have to do, let's go ahead and bring in our Take Your Pick tool and grab our embellishment. So again, if you are interested in the free class kit, if you spend $35 in my online store, I will send you the class kit and you'll get to make 6 cards, 2 of each of the cards that we're making tonight. Did I grab it? Yeah, I grabbed it. There we go. And one more. So these are the Fresh Freesia sequins, and I'm just placing them at the top of the tree. And here we have. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. Isn't this so pretty? I don't know. I'm in love with that vellum. It's amazing. All right, let's go ahead and get started on card number 2. So card number 2, we are using Mint Macaron. And we're going to use the vellum also. And we are going to use, we have an extra base there. We're going to use the vellum, and we're going to use the embossing folder again. And then card number 3, we're just going to do some stamping. I want to show you how you can use your stamp set with other products, and mostly just ink and cardstock and designer series paper to make a fantastically beautiful card. I think you're really going to like the next card that we're creating. So once again, we have a card base that's 8.5 by 5.5. We have scored it at 4 1/4. This makes our card base. I took my bone folder and just kind of creased the fold so that our card lays flat. This is a super simple card, you guys, super simple. We have a basic white mat that is 5 1/4 by 4. So let's go ahead and add some double-sided adhesive and we'll adhere this right down. How have you guys been this week? I have been super, super busy. I have a busy schedule, a busy creative schedule. So I have a retreat coming up. I'm super excited about that, but I've been creating for that. I have a couple of card classes coming up, and then I have the Takeover classes that we are doing here as well. So I've been creatively busy. Fun busy though. All right, so we have our embossed mat. That is 1 7/8 by 3.5. And then we have our snowflake vellum. And the reason that we're doing another card with it is in the first card, if you noticed, I wanted to showcase the vellum. So in the first card, you see the holographic, shiny snowflakes. I'll show you what's in that pack too. But on this card, we have snowflakes that are flocked. So it's like raised and fuzzy and just what you would expect. It's flocked, it's soft and beautiful. I love it. I love this. I love this paper. I am pretty confident that my Christmas cards, at least some of them this year, I like stamping them, but I'm pretty sure that some are going to include that vellum because it's really nice. So again, these two mats are 1 7/8 by 3.5. This card is going to go together pretty quickly. And I'm just laying it out so you can see what we're doing. And then we have a piece of designer series paper that I think is 1 7/8 or 3 7/8. Yeah, it's 3.5 by 3 7/8, I think, or 1.5 by 3 7/8. I'm sorry. 1.5 by 3 7/8. So this is the layout. Let's go ahead and grab some double-sided adhesive. So we've already adhered our 5 1/4 by 4 basic white mat. Now we're going to adhere the other pieces like a puzzle. Do you see how that went together like a puzzle? I'm going to leave a little bit of a margin here. And we'll do the same thing with the vellum. And once again, don't worry about adding adhesive to the back of the vellum. This vellum is so thick you can't see through it. Or if you really wanted to, there are other vellum adhesives. I don't really care for them. Normally when I'm using vellum, I create a project where I can add the adhesive and be inconspicuous about it so that you can't see it through the project. That's my normal MO. Okay, and then finally, let's go ahead and add our designer series paper to the bottom. We'll do a little bit of stamping. Okay. These are wonderful snowflakes. Oh, let's hold it down a little bit. And they're die cuts. Let's go ahead and pull them out. We're going to add a couple of these snowflakes. They're filigree and very delicate. There is a lot of cutting on these, but they're so pretty. And I'm just going to take a little bit of liquid adhesive. And I was going to add 2. Let's see, do we think we can get away with 2 snowflakes? Let's try it. Let's try it and see. We have a whole pack of them, so I want to use a couple of them if we can make it make sense. There we go. All right, so I'm going to use a little bit of liquid adhesive, and I'm only going to adhere right to the center of the snowflake. Once again, I want to be careful not to go over the edge because we have to put this in an envelope. And we want it to fit in the envelope without destroying it. And maybe I need to use, let's try a glue dot. Let's try glue dots. I'm not so sure on the flocked portion of that. And I should have been a little less liberal with the adhesive too. Okay. think this might work a little better. Okay, and then let's do a little bit of stamping and we're done with this card. We'll move on to card number 3. So the background here is mint macaron. So we're going to grab mint macaron and we're going to use the Merry Christmas sentiment. Let's see. Oh, Christmas greetings is what it says. So we're going to grab that sentiment, Christmas greetings, and add it to a block. Add a little of our mint macaron ink. And the label that we have here is from the, oh gosh, I can never remember the name of this, Christmas Seasons. The Christmas Seasons dies. That's what it is. And we're going to add a little bit of dimension. So we'll grab our double-sided dimensionals and we'll add just a couple here. This is kind of long. I feel like maybe we need one in the center. Super simple. Don't these products coordinate so lovely? So very lovely. And the biggest draw is that they go so well with our lovely embellishment. So again, we have the adhesive back sequin gems, and remember, you can get these for free. I will send these to you for absolutely free with a $35 order in my online store. All right, so let's go ahead and grab a couple of the sequins. I'm going to put them right in the center of the snowflakes, but you can sprinkle them around your card too, because you have lots of them and because they're so darn pretty. All right, and then to finish the card off, remember to stamp your sentiment on the inside. We did not do that with the first card, but if you are making cards and the card base is any other color than white or vanilla or a very light color, you're probably going to want to give it a nice finished look by adding a 5 1/4 by 4 inch mat. And right in the center. All right, are you guys ready for a little bit of stamping? Love the snowflakes. Aren't the snowflakes so pretty? Look at that. That's why I said. And the greatest part about it is you don't have to do the cutting. You just pop them off of the little sheet and add them on. Isn't this gorgeous? Yes, Michelle. Love the snowflakes too. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. All right, I think we're doing good. Let's take just a couple of minutes for card number 3. And we have an entire class for the night. So I'm going to clean up a little bit here. I've got open ink and a little bit of a mess. If you are anything like me, you know what I'm talking about without even having to say. When you are creating, things explode really quickly. So I'll make just a little room here. So, all right, so let's get down to card number 3. Here's what we have. So this is soft suede. You know, I don't make a lot of things with soft suede. I've been challenging myself to use it, so I've been using it a little bit on this card. I think it looks fantastic. So here we go again. We have our card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4 in the center. So we have a traditional orientation, the book fold for all of the cards that we're doing tonight. So really easy peasy, not intimidating at all. So if you've not made cards before, Super simple for you to remember. It's just an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, which is half of a sheet, and you can fold it over and press the edge down so it lays flat. So the 5.5 by 4.25 mat is for the inside. Remember what I said about darker color cards. And then we have 3 pieces here. So we have our copper designer series, or it's bronze, I think it's bronze, designer series paper. This mat is 3.5 by 4 3/4. We have the designer series paper, which is 5.25 by 4. And then I have a basic white mat that is 3.25 by 4.5. We're going to do some serious stamping here, so let's get started with that. We'll slide the other pieces to the side for a moment. We're going to focus on the card, and let me show you the orientation so you'll understand what we're doing as we're stamping. I think you're going to be really impressed with how beautiful this card turns out. So this is going to be the orientation for this card. Instead of the book, which would be left to right, we're actually going to go top to bottom. So I'm telling you that so when I start stamping here in a minute, you'll understand why. All right, so we're going to start first by stamping our greeting. And the reason that I'm going to do that is for placement, so that I have a good idea where I want to place the trees, because we're going to be stamping with the trees. And so I'm going to use the sentiment as a landmark. So we're going to be using a couple different color inks here, actually 3, 4. We're going to use Evening Evergreen, and then again the Mint Macaron for our trees. And then we're going to use Black Memento, and then we're going to use Cherry Cobbler, just a little. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our sentiment. And we're going to use the Christmas greetings again because it's already on my blog, and these are Christmas cards, and so they should say Christmas greetings because I said. All right, so we're going to put the greeting in the lower right hand corner of this mat, keeping it in mind again that the orientation is landscape, if you will. Let's go ahead and stamp our greeting, and the greeting is going to be a landmark for us when we're stamping the other elements here. Besides, it's very cute. All right, so next we're going to stamp our trees, and we're going to use all of the tree sizes. We're going to use all of the tree sizes, and we're going to begin with the Mint Macaron. So let's move that out of the way. And let's start with the larger tree. This is also for orientation and placement. We're going to grab that background tree. The lighter color goes in the background, and then the darker color, which is the accent, will go on top of this after we've stamped it. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this down. I don't want to go off of this mat at all, but I do want to go as far left as I can, and I want the peak of the tree almost right to the top of this layer. So we'll go ahead and ink up with the Mint Macaron. I'm going to pull this just a little closer to me so I can see through the block without putting my head in the camera. I think I might get my head in there a little bit. If I do, I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay, so there's our first tree, and it looks pretty darn good. Let's peel this right off the block, set it aside, and we'll grab number 2. Actually, let's do the small tree. We'll do 2 small trees and a medium tree. All right, so we're going to go right down the row here. We're going to add a little tree, and we just want the bottoms of the trees lined up. We'll set that aside. Now we'll grab the medium one, So we have the medium tree. So remember, here they all are, the backgrounds. So let's ink up, tap, 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 and lining the bottom of the tree up. We'll make the medium tree. And you know, they don't have to be exact. I just don't want them staggered. And then one more, the small. And then they fit nicely right across the page, right? All right, so next we need to do the detail. And again, there's a detail for all of the trees. We'll start with the smaller one since it's already on the block. And for that, we're going to grab the darker color. So remember, the detail is in the darker color. The lighter color would be the background. So we'll go ahead and bring in that evening evergreen again. This is the smallest tree, so I'll go ahead, ink it with the darker color, and right on top of the tree we'll go. And we'll do it again because we have two small trees, and then let's go ahead and grab the medium tree, and we'll just do the same thing. I'm going to turn this to the side a little bit. Thank you. And then we'll grab the large tree. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for the thumbs up and the likes. I appreciate you. All right, and then we'll do the large tree. And then you'll see how beautiful this looks just with the ink and adding the layers that we have. So two more things. I'm not sure if you noticed the little trees for sale. Isn't that cute? So that's where the cherry cobbler comes in. So let's grab the cherry cobbler ink. We're almost done, I promise. No embellishments, I think, on this card. I think we're just kind of ink and paper, which is phenomenal. It stands alone very well. Very well. So we're going to grab that little trees for sale, and we're going to put it in this open area using cherry cobbler. Does anybody have this stamp set? This is the cutest stamp set, and we're just going to put it at a little bit of an angle. Stamp it right down. There we go. And then the last thing that we're going to do, I'm not sure if you paid attention or if I called it to your attention. Nope, Michelle says. Nope. Oh, Julie says she wants it. You do want it, Julie. This is so cute. And like I said, it stands alone with ink and paper very well. You notice the little string of light, the strand of lights there? We're going to use that strand of lights, and I actually already have it on a block. And let's bring in my piece of scrap paper here. And then really quickly, I'll grab my black memento. So that's what the black was for. We're going to add a string of lights because this is our tree lot. Super cute. And then I'm just going to put it over the trees here. So nothing scientific about it. I just want it to be like a little bit of a swag right over the trees. And then that's it. Michelle says she wants it too. I think Beth says not yet. You guys, this is so simply cute. I love it. So here's what we have. And then I'm going to take, we have watercolor pencils. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for the love and the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. There is a cherry cobbler, and I'm just going to grab the watercolor pencil and just kind of pencil my bulbs in red just because they match the background designer series paper that we're using. I could actually make all colors if I wanted, or make it multicolored, I should say. All right, and then we're just going to adhere these together. So let's start in layers. The next layer is going to be our bronze or copper foil cardstock. Grab some double-sided adhesive and we'll just pop this right down in the center. And then we'll do it again. And we'll grab our designer series paper and we'll pop this right down in the center. And then our card front, our base. And we'll do it again. Hey, here's the other side of that designer series paper. They're poinsettias. Lovely, right? And we'll add a little bit of adhesive. And then to finish it off, we're going to put that white, basic white card mat in the center because we're going to stamp on it because someone will get this card for Christmas. And we want to make sure that we can stamp a sentiment that is easily readable. So it finishes it off nicely. Here we go. Here we are. Julie says, love. Isn't this the cutest? The absolute cutest. And remember, we just used ink, paper, and stamps, right? Thank you guys so much for the hearts and the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. So, card number 3. Card number 2. And card number 1. All 3 of the cards that we had for tonight. And remember, once again, I just want to remind you that with this Christmas card class, I will send you the, well, probably everything that you need to create the cards. You will not, the embellishment won't be included, but like I'll include the ribbon and the card bases in that. And I'll send it to you absolutely free with a $35 order in my online store. The the link will be in the description above. Thank you, Beth. Thank you so much. I think I should, let's put these right out so we can still see them. By the way, which is your favorite? Which was your favorite? I don't know. I know which one is my favorite. Which one was your favorite? All right, here, let's do it like this. Maybe we can see them. Oh, yay. Julie says all. Good. My goal is to inspire you to stamp. So good. I'm glad that you like them. Michelle says the first card. Isn't that first card so beautiful? It's that vellum. Brian says card number 1. I don't know the color, the fact that it's non-traditional. The colors work really good, and that vellum, just the iridescence really grabs you on that. Oh, Beth says all in different ways. Thank you. I think you're right. I really like the trees, though. I don't know. It is reminds me of being a kid, I guess. I guess that one takes me someplace. It's like a storybook. All right, let's go ahead, you guys. We're awesome. How much I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here and sharing my class. Remember, all of the information about the card class will be in the description above. Also, with the free class, you will get a PDF tutorial that has pictures and instructions for all of the cards that we made tonight. So thank you so much. Next week on Thursday will be week 3 of our takeover. So we're going to have another free class. Feel free to come on over and take a free class with us and create with us and get inspired for the holidays. I really appreciate you being here. Look in the description above for some information regarding tonight's class and next week's class. Remember, you have until Sunday at midnight to order this class if you're interested in having the class kit, and I will send it to you in the mail. Otherwise, I will see you next week right here, same place, same time. Have a fantastic weekend. Get your